especially if you want to get an in-depth tour, is a tour of us, of what we wear. Because technically we don't spend a lot of time in this building. We spend a lot of time out on the street in a police car, which we're going to show you in a little bit, but we wear our equipment. You know, firemen get to carry their equipment on the fire truck, but we have to wear it because you never know, we might have to jump out of the car and chase somebody, and we have to have all our stuff accessible. So real quick, I'm going to go over our equipment just to show you what the typical police officer will carry. Starting with this wonderful belt right here. This belt weighs 23 pounds. So, you know, if you ever picked up a 5-pound bag of potatoes, it's like carrying 5 of those around all the time. So, you know, we all have hip problems and back problems and all kinds of wonderful things. And on this belt is our gun, which, as I mentioned, we only use, you know, people say, you know, do you point it at people, you know, and say, you know, do this, do that? No, we only would use this in a deadly force situation. Then we have the Taser, which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. It's our newest addition, I would say. It takes place of the expandable baton. You know, that expandable baton that you can hit people over the hand with or in the back of the leg. That was really kind of barbaric. This is so much better. So much better. And then we've got pepper spray, which is another tool that we can use to stop a bad guy. I like to think of this as bug spray for bad guys. We carry, in community policing, we all have phones. It's a community phone that people can reach us on when we're working. Extra bullets. Carries 12, one clip has 12 bullets. We carry 2 clips and then the one in the gun. So, and then one in the chamber, so total of 37 bullets. Obviously we carry a radio. I consider a radio the most important piece of equipment I'm carrying, more than my gun. Because if my gun falls out of my hand or my gun runs out of bullets or whatever, this is really what's going to help me, is the radio. When we were coming down in the elevator, we ran into Dan Doherty. How many of you know who Dan Doherty is? Okay, Dan Doherty was involved in the shooting. He was shot multiple times on the west side. We knew that he was shot because he got on his radio and said, "Shots fired, shots fired." And then he actually said the name of the street that he was on through his radio. So, you know, we can say that our gun is an important piece of equipment, but our radio is our lifeline to the rest of the officers and to dispatch. So, most important piece of equipment is the radio right here. 2 sets of cuffs. I carry 2 cuffs. One is a hinge cuff, which looks like this. And then one is a chain cuff, which looks like that. They both do the same thing. Some people have preferences over the other, but we have, you know, we carry 2 sets of cuffs. And then obviously we have to wear the uniform, the badge, pens, all things like that. And then, as Mark mentioned earlier, the bulletproof vest.
How much does that weigh?
Bulletproof vest, probably, you know, it has a metal trauma plate in it. So it probably weighs 4 pounds, maybe.
I think everything all together, vest, belt, all the tools, equipment, it's about almost 30 pounds.
Yeah, close, just shy of 30, probably 28 pounds.
Big boots.
It's a lot of weight.
A lot of extra weight to carry around.
It's a lot of weight to carry around on a day-to-day basis. Again, that's why we have back problems, hip problems, things like that. So that's our uniform. As I mentioned the Taser. The Taser is our newest piece of equipment. And basically, if you could stand over here, I'm not going to fire it, but I'm going to show you kind of how it works. Basically, a Taser is a device that fires an electronic signal using 2 prongs, 2 probes, I should say, that are connected with wire. And what's nice about the Taser is I can stand here, and as long as I point those 2 red laser dots in the right direction, then I'm going to be able to hit my target. Ideally, we want to get a good spread on our target like this, and then you know, you would fire it, and the probes would actually come out. The probes did not come out there, but we as part of our training, do get tasered. And these probes, these are the probes that come out and go into your skin.
Officer
Okay?
Day said that that was optional.
It is optional.
Okay.
It is
Pepper
optional.
spray is
I
not
don't think
optional.
Mark got,
I did not. I
he was smart.
I consider myself to be a smart police officer,
Yes.
and I know that thing hurts. So I said, I will watch.
I
watched
He
Paul.
watched me.
I actually recorded Paul getting.
Yes, yeah, I did get tased. And let me tell you, it's the worst 5 seconds of your life. It's a pain like I've never felt before. You're completely paralyzed. It freezes every muscle. And these are what goes into your body, right here. Now, I want you to see, this is a piece of plywood, and that sucker is coming out the other side.
You can
And-
see the.
And this went into my skin. Okay, 2 of them went into my skin, and they're like a fish hook. So once they go in, they don't come out. So I before I got tased, I said, well, how are you gonna take these out? And they said, oh, we're just gonna rip them right out. And I said, isn't that gonna hurt? And they're like, not as much as getting tased.
So was that true?
What's that?
Was it true?
It was so true. I did not even feel them. When they took them out, I didn't even feel a thing because, getting tased was a lot worse. And it's like, getting tased like running a marathon. Has anyone ever experienced a Charlie horse in their calf? Okay. How does that feel?
It don't tickle.
It don't tickle. I want you to imagine that feeling going on in every muscle of your body. The pain that you feel is like nothing I've ever seen. I obviously didn't have children, but even the women that have been tased said it's worse than childbirth.